Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Welcome to the session. Can you hear me? If yes, please type yes in the chat box. Thank you, Bhaskar. Thank you. Thank you, Chinna. Thank you all for your confirmations. Thank you very much. I hope you have looked at the agenda. By this time, you have understood the plan for today's session. Thank you very much. Let us stop the chat. Let us stop the chat. By looking at this, I hope you got an understanding about today's session. In this session, we get started practicals of Linux. We learn how to create a file, how to remove a file, how to create directory, how to delete a directory, how to go to previous directories. Most frequently used commands in Linux. You need to deal with files and directories. We will create this kind of nested directories, D1, D2, and how can we navigate between the directories. You'll understand it. The difference between remove directory and rm-r. What do you mean by long list? What happens when a file name starts with dot? How to see hidden files? How to create a hidden directory? Listing options, LS stands for list, listing options. How to copy a file. So most of the time, so in this session, our plan is to make ourselves comfortable with the concepts of Linux. Before getting into today's session, any questions, please raise your hand. Before getting on to today's concept, if you have any questions from your previous session, please raise your hand. Good evening, Divya. How are you doing?
Yeah, hi, sir. I'm good.
Okay.
Fine.
So have you created a AWS account?
Yeah, I sir have the
Okay.
account.
What's your question?
Yeah, my doubt is when we should use a .ppk and .pem file.
Okay. Okay. Right now, what file we are using?
Yeah, .ppk file.
What does PPK stands for? Any
Putty.
idea? Correct. You are right. PPK stands for?
For to log into Putty, we use ppk file.
Putty private key.
Yeah, Putty.
Okay. So we use it for when you're connecting from Putty. PEM file for OpenSSH. For example, there's one more terminal I'll be introducing you, Divya, that is called Git Bash. Okay. So when we're using that kind of terminals, then we'll be using for PEM file. I'll show you in the coming classes. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Anything more?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Good morning, Santosha. Good evening.
Santosh here. See, I just wanted to know, after taking this course, do we get any recorded session so that we can...
Yes. As you know, every session is recorded.
Okay.
Once you enroll for the course, you get the day-to-day recordings. You will have access to the recordings lifetime. Along with that, you will get notes and the material which I'll be using in the training. Okay.
Is this tagged with our email ID? Like how do you give the permission?
Do you know? I mean, we have to log into our Logic Labs Technologies. Okay.
Okay.
Our site is logiclabstech.com. You have to log in.
Okay.
Okay. You can log in with your email address, or you can go ahead and create a sign up for a new account. Once you log in, you need to go to the course.
Okay.
You need to go to the course. Our course is DevOps. This one. Am I right?
Okay.
120. Not this one. Go to upcoming batches. This is our course, DevOps area. So you can see there's an option called Buy Now. Okay.
Okay.
So click on this Buy Now, and then the course fees is 6,500. So you can proceed and you can check out. You can make the payment. Once you complete the payment, like a Udemy platform, you have to log in and you'll have My Recordings access where you can access the recordings.
From the Udemy.
Something similar to Udemy. Okay, the platform is
okay. And one more thing, this one, how advanced you are going to teach? Like you.
See, you can try for 3 years of experience as a DevOps professional. To that level, and we will be delivering to it. Okay.
Okay, it's like a kind of thorough teaching only you're going to do in this.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so we can say the thing is,
you can project approximately 3 years of experience after this course.
Okay, is there any the particular script knowledge we should know to learn these things?
Nothing, not required. Okay.
Okay. So because since I heard
if
that
you have Python scripting, that's an added advantage. It's not mandatory. More than scripting, I strongly recommend to have good knowledge on cloud platform, that is AWS services. Okay. That's my recommendation.
But because see, one of my friend was selected for AWS engineer only, AWS,
Mhm.
but he was saying that during the interview and all, they will ask for coding and all to write.
Correct.
So that's the reason.
So Python scripting is I mean, people's few clients will ask you. Okay, that depends on the requirements. Okay. More than
Okay.
scripting, it is important to be focused on the cloud platform. That's very important.
Okay. See, the thing is, I just wanted to ask one thing. Since I'm in a IT background, like around I have 14 years experience currently supporting AWS, sorry, this one VMware and uh,
Very good. You
Windows.
are in the
So
VMware
the
and the on-premises environments.
yes, but the thing is, we don't have any option. Like we are in the final moment. Like we have to either uh, upgrade to
Cloud.
AWS or yes, Azure. So what do you suggest for us? Like
See, both are equally good. AWS is also equally good, and Azure is equally good. I cannot
okay.
say that AWS is better or right, because both are doing good. In fact, cloud industry is doing good. So it's up to you, whichever you feel comfortable. Okay, you
Mhm.
proceed with that. But this course is AWS DevOps on AWS. I hope you know that. Okay,
O-
Santosh. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gaurav. Good evening, Gaurav. How are you doing?
Hey, hi, Sunil. I'm doing great. You?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Gaurav. Yes, your question.
Yeah, Sunil, is it a job-oriented program or what? Like, are you guys providing the job assistance as well?
We will update you where exactly the opportunities are there. Okay. So you get the information in our Telegram group. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay,
we help in resume preparation. Okay. What kind of
okay,
questions will be asked in the interview? So when I'm learning a specific subject. So all those examples, whatever we are doing it, that you can showcase in your interview. Okay.
okay. And
Okay.
to whom I have to contact for
Send an
this?
email to support at Logic Labs for all your questions.
Okay. And is there any, as I heard earlier, that Python, sorry, Linux is mandatory for this.
That's the reason we are learning Linux.
Okay, we are learning Linux right now. Actually, I just joined.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Okay.
am from the networking background, so.
Mm-hmm.
I heard this question. Guy
Okay, okay. So Linux is required. That's the reason first couple of sessions we'll be spending time on Linux. First three sessions,
Okay,
and then we'll move on to the next part of that is called DevOps. Okay.
okay, okay.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Thank you. One more final call. Any participants raising their hands? One more final call. Andrew. Good morning, Andrew. You have to unmute and talk. Okay. We cannot hear you. Please check your audio settings. Perfect. Okay. I have few questions, very important. If you want to practice Linux, you need to have a Linux environment. So let's go ahead and create a Linux machine. We already have spent the entire session creating a Linux machine and connected to the Linux machine. I'll be a little bit fast now. Let's log into AWS. The URL is aws.amazon.com. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign in to the console. Log in with your AWS account. Participants, please respond in the chat box. What service I need to select to create virtual machine on cloud? What service I need to select to create a virtual machine on cloud? Please respond in the chat box. The service, what you need to select is EC2. The service, what you need to select is EC2. Go to instances. Do you have any instances? Right now, you can clearly see that there are no instances. Let me go ahead and create a new instance. Let me go ahead and create a new Linux machine. The Linux machine which I'm creating is what type of instance? It is of T2 micro. Okay, the Linux machine, what we are creating now is what type of instance? It is a Linux machine of T2 micro. Okay, the instance type is T2 micro. Let's proceed. Launch instances. My dear friends, any restriction on the name of the machine? Anything? I'm writing it as machine 1. Machine name can be anything. This time I want to go with Ubuntu operating system. Make sure the operating system which you're selecting is eligible for free tier. I already have verified it. The Ubuntu 22 version is eligible for free tier. That's good. Scroll down. What type of instance? You have already observed it is a T2 micro instance. That means this instance comes with 1 GB memory, that is 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. Okay. Whenever you create a machine, it will ask you to create a key pair. I hope you remember yesterday also we have created a key pair. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .ppk. It is asking you to create a new key pair. Let me create a new key pair. Key pair name can be anything. I'm naming my key pair name as KP with today's date, 19. I don't want a PEM file. I will be using for putty, so it is a PPK file. So key pair is nothing but a key PPK file. So I create a key pair. When you create a key pair, it will ask you to download it where I want to download. In the downloads folder, I have created a Sunil folder. In that Sunil folder, I am downloading the key pair. Perfect. I already have downloaded the key pair. Very good. Scroll down. Network settings. We'll discuss about the network settings. By default, the SSH connections are open. Take the default settings. It comes with 8 GB of hard drive. The Linux machine comes with 8 GB of hard drive. That's all. Perfect. And click on launch instance. I am launching an Ubuntu machine. In the previous session, we have launched the Red Hat machine. Now I'm launching the Ubuntu machine, successfully launched. Scroll down. You can see we have an option called view instances. This is a machine which we have just now created, machine 1. It is still pending. It will just take less than a minute for the machine to get it to running state. The machine is ready. The Linux environment is ready. This is your AWS cloud platform. Participants, I have created a Linux machine. Technically speaking, it's an Ubuntu, but it's one more flavor of Linux, which is already running. Now, from my personal laptop, if I want to connect to the Linux machine, which is running on AWS platform, which is in which data center? Mumbai data center. You can see AWS is having the data centers in several countries. Right now, I'm selecting Mumbai. To connect to the Linux machine, which is running on Mumbai, I need a terminal. I need a terminal. What is a terminal? The terminal is called as putty. I need a terminal. I need a terminal. First step, what you have to do, you have to download the terminal in your personal laptop. Let me download it. Open Google, search for the terminal, whatever you want, putty, followed with download. Take the first site, putty.org. Download putty, select the first option. It will be redirected to chairk.greenend.org.uk. That's okay. Scroll down. You can go with MSI files or you can also go with exe file. Anything is fine. I'm going with putty.exe. I'm downloading the putty terminal. Take the first option, putty.exe. I'm downloading the terminal. Where I'm downloading the terminal, I can download any location. I'm downloading in the downloads folder. Click on save. Yes, I have downloaded the terminal. My dear participants, this is how you have to download the terminal, putty.exe. The terminal is ready. The terminal is ready. What is the terminal called as? The terminal is called as putty. Next. To connect, what are the credentials required? What are the credentials required to connect to putty? To connect to the Linux machine using putty? what are the credentials which are required? So go to AWS Cloud. This is the machine you want to get connected with. Select the machine. Can you see we have a button called Connect? Super. Click on Connect. In this SSH command, don't copy the entire SSH command. You have to just copy. Ignore the PEM file because we have not downloaded PEM file. So just copy username @ DNS name. This is called as public DNS. Don't worry about this. This is what is required. For connection, this is username @ the DNS name. If you don't know what is public DNS, don't worry. We'll discuss about that in the coming classes. This is what the required. So you have to mention this in your putty. Where did you download the putty? Putty.exe, it is downloads folder. Open the putty.exe. Under the host name, you have to provide these credentials. So this you have to provide it under what value? Under host name. Next. Putty needs what file? Putty needs PPK file. I hope you remember we have downloaded the PPK file, my dear friends. We have downloaded the PPK file. Where did you download the PPK file? It is available in the downloads folder. Just now I have downloaded the PPK file. So you have to point out the PPK file in Putty. So you have to mention this is the location where the PPK file is available. How to mention it? I'm showing you now. Can you see we have connection? Participants, we have connection. Under connection, we have SSH. Under SSH, we have authentication. Under authentication, we have credentials. This is the navigation. And a private key. Private key. And where is your private key? My private key is available in the downloads folder. Under download, there's one more folder called Sunil. In that particular folder, the PPK file is available. Let me browse it and locate it. Downloads. Under downloads, Sunil folder. Under Sunil folder, this is the key pair which I have downloaded with today's date, 19. Click on open. That's it. That's it. So these are the required credentials. In the session option, you have to provide the host name, and in the authentication credentials, you have to point out the PPK file. Click on open. Are you sure you want to connect? Click on accept. You have successfully connected, my dear friends. You have successfully connected to the Linux machine. Let me increase the font size for better visibility. Appearance. I increase the font size to 14, make it bold. Click on OK. Click on apply. Now this is better. I have successfully connected. I'm getting an IP address. That's a proof. 172.31.8.56 is nothing but the IP address of the machine which we have just now created. Can you see here? This is the machine. 172.31.8.56. Yes, perfect. Perfect. I have successfully connected to Linux machine. This is what we have learned in yesterday's session. This is what we have learned in yesterday's session. Perfect. Okay, let's get started. I want to create a file. I want to create a file in the Linux machine. Sunil, what file you want to create? I want to create a file with the name F1. My plan is to create a file. The file name is F1. In Linux, whenever you want to create a file, we have a command called cat. Whenever you want to create a file, we have a command called cat. So the syntax is cat greater than, mention the file name which you want to create. So this command helps you to create a file. What are you waiting for? Let's go ahead and create a file. Whenever you want to create a file, the command is, let's clear it. CLEAR is the command which will clear the screen. I want to create a file, participants. Cat greater than, mention the file name which you want to create, F1. This helps you to create a file. The file gets created, but observe, you will not get the dollar prompt back. Are you getting the dollar prompt? No. The control will enter into the file. Why are you creating the file? Obviously, you want to save some data, isn't it? So this is the data which I want to create inside the file. Good evening. Welcome to DevOps course. Thank you These are the 3 lines of content I want to create in the file F1 and how to come out of the file. Control D. Okay, in the keyboard we have control keys in it. So use Control D to come out of the cat command. My dear participants, I'm done with coming out of the cat command. I'm back to my dollar prompt. I'm done with creating a file. So I have done shown you how to create a file. How did we create a file? By using the cat command. Can we create one more file? Yes, why not? Cat. I want to create one more file with the name F2. Control will enter into the file. What are the content you want to write it into the file? How to come out of the file? The cat command. Control D to come out of the cat command. How many files you have created? You have created 2 files, F1 and F2. How to seal a list of all the files? We have an ls command. We have an ls command stands for list, which will show you the list of files which you have created. We have created 2 files, F1 and F2. Superb. I'm done showing you how to create a file. CLEAR, clear, to clear the screen. ls to see list of all the files. I have created 2 files, F1 and F2. I'm done with creating a file. Next. I want to remove the file. I don't want the file. I want to remove it. Can we do it? Yes, we have a command called rm. I think you can easily guess what does rm stands for remove. rm stands for remove and mention the file name which you want to remove. I want to remove F2. Yes, the file has been removed. That's all. Now, if you say list, now you are now end up with only one file F1. F2 is already removed. So you now know how to create a file and now you also know how to remove a file. So you are now comfortable with creating the file process and deleting the file. Let's proceed with directories. Let's proceed with directory. I want to create a directory. I want to create a directory. First part, what's the directory? In Windows, we have folder, right? In Windows, we have a folder, right? So all the DevOps 6pm batch files I'm creating in one folder. In Windows, it is called as folder. In Linux, it is called as directory. A folder in the Linux machine is called as directory. Okay, very good. I want to create a directory. What is the name of the directory which you want to create? D1 participants. I want to create a directory with the name D1. So what is a command to create a directory? We have a command called mkdir, stands for make directory. Make directory. Mkdir is a command which helps you to create a directory. When you want to create a directory, mention the directory name which you want to create, D1. This helps you to create a directory. Let me go ahead and create a directory. Mkdir followed D1. The directory gets created. Perfect. ls not only show you list of all the files, it will also show you directories also. Don't be under impression that list will show you list of all the files. It will show you list of all the files as well as directories. We have created one file, we have created one directory. Super. Sunil, I want to create one more directory. What's there in it? You can do it. mkdir followed by the second directory D2. That's all. Your second directory gets created. Let me do it. mkdir followed by D2. Directory got created. Now list. I have 2 directories and 1 file. As of now, one observation. How to identify which one is a file and which one is a directory? How to identify which one is a file and which one is a directory? One way of observation is by color. Sunil, file is shown in black and white, and whereas the directory is shown in blue color. Superb. So this is one way of identification. This is one more way of identification. I'll be showing you soon. I'll be showing you soon. I have shown you creating a file, removing a file. I have also shown you how to create a directory. I have shown you how to create a directory. Next. How many directories I have created? 2 directories I have created. You can see the screen, D1 and D2 are the 2 directories which you have created. Very good. I want to introduce you one more important command called pwd. I want to introduce you one more important command called pwd. Anybody can respond in the chat box what does pwd stands for? I want to introduce one command in the chat now is pwd. Perfect. Stands for present working directory. Perfect, Gauri, you are right. PWD stands for present working directory. Let us stop the chat. Currently, I am connected to Linux. No doubt. You have connected to Linux. Very good. I want to know my current location, where I am connected, where I am pointing to. You have connected to Linux machine, where I am creating files, where I am creating the files. For example, if I open this, if I'm creating a file here, that is nothing but this is the location. This is right now I'm pointing to E drive today folder. Inside the today there is one more folder called DevOps 6 p.m. So if I create a file, that means yes, I have created a file in this particular location. Similarly, like how you're creating a file in a specific location in the Windows environment, similarly, you have created file F1. My point is, where did you create this file? I want to know which location you have created the file F1. Whenever you want to know the current location in which you are working, we have a command called pwd, stands for print working directory. It will print the working directory. Right now you're pointing to /home/ubuntu. Very, very important. Whenever you want to know the current location in which you are working, we have a command called pwd, stands for print working directory. It will show you the current location. This means the file F1, which you have created, is under Ubuntu. The file, the directory D1, D2, and F1, all these are under Ubuntu, under /home/Ubuntu. Perfect. Clear? PWD stands for print working directory. Next. What is D2? D2, what is D2? Answer my question. What is D2? Sunil, what's there in it? It's very simple. D2 is a directory. Very good. D2 is a directory, no doubt. Can I create a files inside D2? Can I create a file under a D2? So can we directly have files? Yes, why not? When I say directory, it's nothing but a folder. So can we have files inside a folder? Yes. Similarly, we can also have files inside a directory. I want to create a file with the name F10. This is my plan. My plan is to create a file F10, but where I want to create it? I want to create it inside the D2. Now, are you pointing to D2 now? No. You're currently not pointing to D2. Right now, you're pointing to /home/ubuntu. But what is your requirement? You want to create a file inside D2. First, you need to change to D2. Point to D2. We have a command called cd, stands for change directory. We have a command called cd, stands for change directory, and point out to the directory which you want to change. I want to change to D2. That means you want to point out to D2. My dear participants, right now you're pointing to D2. You can see here, right now you're pointing to D2. Now you're pointing to D2. If you want to confirm, Sunil, am I really pointing to D2 or not? You can confirm it by using the command called pwd. As you know, it will show you the current path, pwd, participants. You can see /home/ubuntu/D2. Right now, you are pointing to home, under home 1 to under Ubuntu, you have created directory D2. Right now, you're pointing to D2. Inside the D2, you want to create a file F10. Yes, you can do that by using the command called can, followed with greater than symbol F10. So, what are the file you want? You can create it, control it, come out of the commands. Perfect. You have created a file F10. Super. What is the new thing you have learned? What is the new thing you have learned? You have learned that how to move to a particular location. You have learned how to move to a particular location. PWD will show you the current working directory. Currently, you're pointing to /home/ubuntu/D2. Clear? One more important point. Who wants to talk to me? Please raise your hand. Who wants to talk to me with respect to navigation, with respect to directories? Please raise your hand. Right now, where are we pointing to? Right now, I'm pointing to D2. Okay. My question is, for D2, the parent directory is Ubuntu. For D2, the parent directory is Ubuntu. That means D2 is created under the Ubuntu directory. That is what you have to realize by looking at the path. Ubuntu is a directory which is created under home. Home is also a directory which is created under root. Root is the topmost directory. Slash refers to root. Root is the topmost directory. Slash is nothing but the topmost directory. So where I am pointing to, first home, under home, Ubuntu, under Ubuntu, D2. For D2, the immediate parent directory is Ubuntu. For Ubuntu, the immediate directory is home. For home, the parent directory is slash. That is how the hierarchy is. Now my point, I want to go back to the Ubuntu directory. I want to go back to Ubuntu directory. Whenever you want to go to the immediate parent directory, when you want to go back to immediate parent directory, we have a command called cd followed with double dot. We have a command called cd followed with double dot, which will go to the immediate parent directory. Cd followed with dot dot. Done. Participants, now you are not pointing to D2. You are no more pointing to D2. If you want to check yourself where you are pointing to, we have a command called pwd. You are now pointing to Ubuntu. Super. For Ubuntu, what is the parent? The parent is home. For Ubuntu, the parent is home. If I want to point out to home, again I write cd double dot. Now you will be going to back one step upward, that is home. Now if you want to confirm pwd, now you are pointing to home. For home, the parent is root, cd double dot. Now pwd, now you're pointing to root. Root is the topmost directory, you cannot go beyond root. Got it? So this is the navigation. I've shown you how to go to the parent directory. Right now, cd double dot is a command which helps you to go to immediate parent directory. Which helps you to go to immediate parent directory. Right now, where are you pointing to? Currently, I'm pointing to slash. Again, I want to go back to slash home slash Ubuntu. I want to point out to this particular location. So whenever you want to point out a particular location, write the entire path cd slash where you want to point out to home. Under home, you want to point out to Ubuntu. Perfect. pwd. Superb. You're pointing to slash home slash. Am I clear? Clear about this? So you have to be comfortable with navigation. You have to be comfortable with navigation. ls to see list of all the files. Participants, we have two directories, D1, D2, and we have a file F1. This is important. This is important. I want to remove directory. Participants, I want to remove the directory. rmdir is a command which helps you to remove it. How are you creating a directory? Can you see? mkdir stands for make directory. Similarly, rmdir stands for remove directory. What is the directory you want to? I want to remove the D1. So right now, we do have D1 directory. Yes, I want to remove the directory. Yes, let's try rmdir followed with D1. Can you see here? Is the directory removed? Yes, successfully command get completed list. Now you are left out with only one directory D2. D1 has been removed. Similarly, I want to remove D2. Can I remove D2 also? What's the it's like how you have removed D1? The same command rmdir, mention the directory now, D2. This will help you to remove directory D2, but this particular command will fail. Very important observation. This command will fail. You may have a question. The same command working successfully with D1. This particular command is failing. What could be the reason? Please observe here. Let's try. Let's learn what is the reason. Remove directory. I won't remove D2, but this command will fail. Failed to remove directory because it is not empty. rmdir will successfully remove the directory if it is empty. D1 is empty. But have you observed, we have not, D2 is not empty. We have created a file F10. Have you observed? We have changed it to D2 and we have created F10. So directory is not empty. Remove directory will be successful only when the directory is not empty, when the directory is empty. So D2 is not empty, D2 is having a file. Clear about it? That's the reason I'm able to remove it. Even though directory may have some set of files, directory may have 100 files, but still if you want to remove the directory, then we have a command called rm-r. We have a command called -r. R stands for recursive. rm-r is a command which helps you to remove the directory even though it is not empty. I won't remove D2. D2 is not empty. R stands for recursive. First, corresponding files inside the D2 will be deleted, and finally the directory will also be deleted. So rm-r stands for recursive. Mention the directory which you want to delete, successfully deleted. ls, now you can see you're left out with only one file, f1. Superb. So this is how you have to be comfortable navigating between the locations of the Linux and creating files and removing the files as well as directories. Clear about this? Okay. One more quick scenario, a very small example. I want to create a directory D1. I want to create a directory D1. Inside D1, I want to create D2. Inside D2, I want to create directory D3. Inside D3, I want to create directory D4. This is the hierarchy which I want to create. D1, under D1, D2, under D2, D3, under D3, D4. Can I do it? Participants, can I do it? How to create this nested directories? D1, D2,
Yes, we can do it. You can do
D3. So what will be the first command, Bhaskar, to start with?
clear screen and mkdir.
The first command what I have to do is to create a directory D1. Am I right?
Yes.
Directory got created. What will be the next step?
Great. mkdir d1
You want to create a
because
D2. You want to create D2 inside D1.
d1, yeah, correct.
So first CD stands for change directory. Enter into D1.
Change it.
Now you are pointing inside D1. If you want to confirm, you can do it by using PWD. Right now you are inside D1. Inside D1, what you have to do? mkdir D2. Create a second directory.
Yes.
After creating second directory, what you have to do? You have to enter into the second directory. So you have the command called cd D2. Now you're pointing to second directory. Can you confirm it? PWD. Inside D1, now you're pointing to D2. Inside D2, you are creating a command called mkdir followed with D3. Now cd D3, mkdir D4, cd D4. Now this is the hierarchy structure. You have created D1. Participants, you have created D1. Inside D1, you have created D2. Inside D2, you have created D3. And inside D3, you have created D4. This is the hierarchical structure. So you have to be very comfortable. Participants, you have to be very comfortable navigation between the files and directories.
Sir, I am stuck on D2.
So you want to create a second directory D2. Am I right?
Whenever I click here, it's showing me Ubuntu, and after that $CD D2.
Do
I'm
not
stuck there.
practice
After-
parallelly.
Yeah.
Do not practice parallelly. Focus on the session because university will have access to recording. By watching the recording and do it.
Okay.
But when you do it parallelly, you miss the attention. Okay? Perfect. So I have created D1 under D1, D2 under D2, D3 under D3, D4. You can see I'm now pointing D4. From the D4, for D4, the parent is D3. For D3, the parent is D2. The D2, the parent is D1. Okay, for D1, the parent is Ubuntu. For Ubuntu, the parent is home. For home, the parent is root. That's the structure. I won't directly jump to /home/Ubuntu. Whenever you want, cd double dot will jump to immediate parent directory D3. Now I don't want to go to immediate parent directory. No, I want to directly jump to /home/Ubuntu. So in such case, you have tried the complete path cd/home/Ubuntu. Perfect. Now you're pointing to P. Unless you have directed D1. Where are we seeing D2, D3? Because it is nested directories. You are not able to see D2 because D2 is inside the D1. Perfect. So I hope I'm very clear, participants. I hope I'm very clear in showing you the navigation between the files, directories, creating directories, removing the files, removing the directories. Perfect. PWD, I have clearly shown you what the sprint working directory stands for. Okay. Now, one question, participants. ls to see list of all the files and directories. We have one file F1 and one directory D1. Okay. I want to see the content present in the F1. I want to see the content which is present in F1. Do you remember in F1 when this is the first file which I have created in today's session? We have started with F1 file 1. I think I have written 3 lines of content. Good evening, welcome to DevOps, and thank you. That's the 3 lines of content which I have inserted in the which I have created in the file F1. I want to read that particular content. I want to see the files. Whenever you want to look at the content present in the file, we have a command called cat F1. Don't use greater than symbol. Greater than symbol, go back. Greater than symbol, you have to use it only when you want to create a new file. Now I don't want to create a new file. File is already existing. I want to see the confirm in content present in the file. So cat, don't mention greater than symbol, just write F1. Are you able to see the content? Superb. Good evening, welcome to DevOps, and thank you. Are able to see the content? Yes. Don't use greater than symbol. When should we use greater than symbol? Greater than symbol, you have to use it only if you want to create a new file. If you do not want to create a file, if you want to see the content present in the existing file, just use cat followed with the file name. Okay. Perfect. Next. Very important point. Second way to create a file. Second way to create a file. One way to create a file is cat followed with the file name F1, F2, whatever it is. This is one way to create a file. There's one more approach. There's one more way to create a file. You can create a file by using touch command. Participants. One way to create a file is by using cat command. We already have done it, no doubt. There's one more approach. There's second way to create a file by using touch command. Let's say I want to create a file with the name F5. What is the file name which I want to create? I want to create a file with the name F5. Very simple. Whenever you want to create a file with the name F5, please use touch command. Touch followed with F5. The file got created. Touch followed with F6. The file got created. How many files I have created? F5 and F6 are the files which I have created by using touch command. What about F1? F1 I have created by using cat command. What is the difference? Have you observed? There is a difference. When you create a cat command, do you remember the control is entering into the file? You have written 3 lines of content. Good evening, welcome to DevOps, and thank you. And then control D. We have used control D command to come out of the cat command. That's the way the cat command works. But when you create a file by using touch command, is it asking you to enter some data? No. Is it asking you to enter the content? No. Immediately I'm getting the dollar prompt back. That's the difference. The difference is when you create a file by using touch command, those files are empty files. Those files are called as empty file. Sometimes when you're working with Linux or when you're working DevOps tools, you want to create some files. Later you will be editing it. But for as of now, you want to create a file. So immediately when you want to create a file, use touch command. Touch is a command which helps you to create an empty file. So we have created a command F5 and F6. These are empty files. And F1 is not an empty file. Have you seen? It's having 3 lines of content. So if anybody asks you how many ways we can create a file in Linux, there are 2 ways. One is by using the cat command. The other one is by using the touch command. The difference is when you create a file by using touch command, it's an empty file. Superb. Okay. LS. Sunil, we already have seen this. LS stands for list, will show you list of all the files and directories. LS will show you list of files and directories. That's okay. I want to see more information. I want to know more information about the file, like date and time when the file has been created. I want to know the date and time when the file has been created. I want to know the size of the file. File is created, right? F1 is a file. What is the size of the file? I want to know it. I want to know the owner who created this particular file. I want to know the group what the file belongs to. I'll explain to you the group later. I want to know the permissions for a particular file. Every file will have permissions. So this kind of additional information, I want it. LS is not showing you more information. It is just showing you list. Total 3 files and 1 directory. Total 4. That's all. But my requirement is I want more information about F1. I want to know the date and time when the F1 has been created. I want to know the size of the F1. I want to know the owner of the F1. I want to know the permissions of the file F1. I want more information. Whenever you want more information, -L. Please use LS-L. L stands for long list. Participants. L stands for long list, which will give you more information. Please observe here. 3 files and 1 directory. Here also we are getting 3 files and 1 directory. Okay, no doubt. Here also we are getting 3 files and 1 directory, no doubt. But are you getting some additional information along with the file names and directory names? Yes, you are getting additional information. That is called long list. When you want more information about a file or a directory, please use long list. Example, considering the file F1, this is date and time when the file has been created, October 19, 12, as per this particular line execution time. Are you able to see the date and time? 48 is nothing but the bytes size of the file. This is the owner of the file. This is the group belongs to. This is nothing but links per particular file. This is the permissions of the file. A file can have read, write, and execute permissions. Are you able to get more information? Yes. Normal list. You cannot see the date and time. You cannot see the permissions. More information, -L, please provide -L will give you more information about the file. Clear? Clear about this? Super. Now, important point again. Important point. What happens when a file name starts with dot? What happens when a file name starts with dot? Let's try. I want to create a file with the name .f15. Can we think? This is what I want to create. Can I create a file which starts with dot? Why not? You can do it. Let's try. I want to do it this time by using touch command. Touch. And one more important point. F5 and F6 are the files which we have created by using what command? Participants? Do you remember? F5 and F6 are the files which you have created by using what command? Touch command. That's the reason it is 0 bytes. It's an empty file. Touch always creates an empty file. Okay, quick verification. That's the reason you're showing as 0. Okay. I want to create a file with the name .f15. Okay, why not? use the touch .f15. File got created happily, no problem. LS will show you list of all the files. LS will show you list of all the files. F1, F5, F6, D1. Where about F15, .f15? Are you able to see the .f15? No. You are not able to see this particular file successfully created. But are you able to see that particular file? No, you're not able to see the file because in Linux, when a file name starts with dot, it is a hidden file, my dear friends. It is a hidden file. Super. When a file name starts with dot, the meaning of that is you have to understand that it is a hidden file. As it is a hidden file, when I say list, it is not listing out. When I say ls-l, you are not getting it. You are not able to see this particular .15 because it is hidden. It is hidden, my dear friends. Okay? It is hidden. Can I create a directory also? Yes. I want to create a directory with the name dot. I want to create a directory. It starts with dot, followed directory name, something like d5. mkdir dot d5 directory gets created. This is also a hidden directory. Like how when a file name starts with dot, it's a hidden file. Similarly, when a directory name starts with dot, it's a hidden directory. So let's experience it. mkdir dot d5 directory got created. ls, are you able to see dot d5? No. ls-long list, are you able to get d5? No. These are called as in Linux, when a file name starts with dot or when a directory name starts with dot, it is a hidden file or a hidden directory. So this is something new you have learned today. Many new things you have learned today. Clear? Clear about dealing with hidden files and hidden directories? Yes. Let's proceed. Clear. ls. Sunil, I want to see hidden files also. Is there any way to see hidden files? F15 is a hidden file. .d5 is a hidden directory. Is there any possibility? Can we see hidden files also? ls-a. I think most of you know this. A stands for all files. It may be normal files or it could be hidden files also. It will be displayed. Are you able to see hidden file .15? .f15? Are you able to see the hidden directory .d5? Yes. Not only of hidden file which we have created, hidden directory which we have created, there are some other hidden directories also .ssh for our, okay, so for our surprise, there are some more hidden files and hidden directories. Don't worry about that. But you now know the point. What you have realized is you now know in a position to see hidden files also by using -a option. Clear about this? Clear about this? Okay. Now my point is, we have a hidden file .f15. I want to know the date and time when the hidden file has been created. I want to know the permissions of this particular file. I want to know the size of the particular file. So when you want more information, you have to use a combination. ls-l will show you more information of normal files, but you want to know more information about normal files along with hidden files, you have to use a combination of ls-la. ls-l will show you normal files. In combination with you, right? A, that stands for all files. Are you getting normal files as well as all files like .15 and .d5? Yes. Combination of options. Clear? ls-la will get the more information about normal files as well as hidden files also. Clear about this? Am I clear? Are we meeting our today's agenda? You know how to create a file, how to remove a file, how to create a directory, how to delete a directory, how to go to immediate parent directory. We have learned the nested directories. We made ourselves comfortable with the navigation between the directories. You know, RMDIR fails when the directory is not empty. In such case, you have to use -r stands for recursive long list. What happens when a file name starts with dot? It's a hidden file. How to see hidden files? -a option. How to create a hidden directory? When a directory name starts with dot, it's a hidden directory. Combination of listing options. Yes, ls, ls-l, ls-la. These are the combinations we have learned it. Perfect. Next, how to copy a file? ls. We have file f1. What is the information present in the file f1? I want to read it. Cat f1. Don't use greater than symbol. Just write cat followed with file name. This is 3 lines of content. Good evening. Welcome to DevOps and thank you. This is 3 lines of content. Now what I want to copy the content to a different file. We have one file F1. We have a file F1. Now what you want to do, you want to copy this F1 content into a new file, let's say F20. That's the destination. Source is F1 and you want to copy it. Do you have F20? Tell me. Do you have F20? No, we don't have it. Whenever you want to copy the content from one file to another file, whenever you want to copy a content from one file to another file, we have a command called CP, stands for copy. As simple as that. Provide the source and follow with destination. For example, in my case, CP is a command to copy. What is the source file? Source file is nothing but F1. What is the destination file? The destination file is F20. Let's do that. CP stands for copy. Source is F1. Destination is F20. The file gets copied. File gets created. Now, if you see ls, you can see the file gets created. F20 got created. The file gets created. The destination file gets created. And the content is also copied. If you want to verify what information you have it in F20, how to read the information present in F20, how to read the information present in F20, cat F20. Are you getting the same information? Good evening, welcome to DevOps. Are you getting the same information, whatever you have it in F1? The same content, what you have it in the source file, are you able to get the same content in the destination file? Yes. So this is how you have to use copy command in case if you want to copy a file from one, copy the content from one file to another file. My dear friends, am I clear in explaining you the commands of Linux? Please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you? Are you now comfortable connecting to a Linux machine, downloading the terminal putty, connecting to the Linux machine by using a PPK file? Not only just connecting, you are in a position to deal with files, navigate between the directories and files. Superb. You are in a position to see the list of all the files. Thank you very much for your responses. Once you're done practicing, what you have to do, disconnect the terminal, exit to disconnect the terminal. Now the machine is still running. I want to use the same machine tomorrow. I want to use the same machine tomorrow. I want to continue this tomorrow. So what I have to do, I have to stop the machine. I don't want to terminate it because I'll be using the same machine tomorrow. I will be stopping the machine so that I can start it again tomorrow and continue more about Linux commands. Yes, Priya, how is today's session?
Yeah, it's hello.
Yes, I can hear you, please.
Yeah, just a minute. My headset disconnected. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you can hear you.
So it was good and it's helpful.
Do you know
So
all these concepts or is the first time you're learning it?
sorry, my headset got disconnected and I am not able to.
What is your question?
Just a minute. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
What's your question?
So my query is, we are using the Zoom session. So can we connect the Zoom session from our professional laptops as well?
Yes.
Okay. So, and we are using the
You can-
AWS account.
You can connect to Zoom sessions using your mobile phone. You can connect using the laptop also. Okay.
Yeah. If we are not having if we are traveling and we are not carrying our personal laptop with us, that
You can connect using mobile. Download the Zoom app in your mobile. Okay.
Yeah.
You can connect.
Yes. But yeah, in the mobile screen is very it's not a large screen, so many a times we have to scroll up and down and zooming the things. So if I am having the person of my office laptop, so we can easily and we can work as well because we are using the AWS account. We are not using anything and saving any data on system.
Correct.
Right.
So you can use your office laptop. That's not a problem because we don't install anything in our personal laptop. Everything is on cloud.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yes, Priyanka. I can see your hand raised, Priyanka. I can see your hand raised, Priyanka. How are you,
Hello.
Courage? Yes, Priyanka.
Hi. Yeah. Sorry for the interruption. Actually, today's session is very useful for me, and totally, I feel this course is very useful for me. And another one question I have, I have a career gap of 2 years, and I was working on AWS administrator for
Very good.
five,
Very.
5 years, but total I have 7 years of experience.
Mhm.
Now 2 years careers break also is there, right? I have to try job in US.
Mhm.
Currently I'm staying in India. So is this helpful? Because you just now you told you can make your resume for 3 years, up to 3 years, but I have 7 years of experience, but only I have worked on AWS administrator,
Priyanka,
not on.
you cannot project all the 7 years of experience in DevOps. Agree? Is it?
Okay.
So whatever you may have, people are having 10 years of experience, but they cannot project every complete 10 years of experience in DevOps. So whatever your actual experience you're having, that for example, you have 7 years of experience, AWS experience you're having 5 years, put it as this, because it is
Okay.
very genuine related experience. And then remaining
Okay.
on top of it, divide it and mention 3 years of experience and DevOps. Okay, so that's how you have to prepare your resume. Split it total 8 years of experience, 5 years you mention it on AWS, 3 years you have mentioned it in DevOps. That's it, no doubt. Okay, DevOps is doing good, very good in the US market also. Okay, you are on the right track, Priyanka. Only thing you have to do hands-on and crack it. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, Courage. How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you very, very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I really want to first of all start by thanking you because this is really making me understand a lot about the Linux commands. But then I wanted to ask a question concerning because actually I'm very much new on this field, so I'm gradually taking my time to make sure I understand every step. So concerning the files, creating the files, directories and everything, hidden files, are we supposed to create all of these under the AWS section, or we can just create it on a normal Microsoft or whatever? I don't know. Must we do all of these in case we
Do it on AWS.
Oh, okay. All right.
All
Thank
the
you.
hands-on, the complete hands-on, preferably please do it on AWS. You have to be comfortable with the AWS environments. That's the reason.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. All right.
So you can see the machine is running, participants. Let me stop the machine. Remember, I'll be reusing the machine, same machine in the next session. Umar, Sheikh, good evening. Archana, good evening.
Hello.
Hi,
Am I audible?
Sunil.
Yes, Archana, please proceed.
Yeah, like I'm new to this course, and I'm good with your classes. Like I'm very much understandable. And today, what we have learned in this commands, we use touch command for file, and you have said like it is empty file to create.
Correct.
And if we want to put any data in that empty
Later,
file,
let's say first the empty file gets created. Now next you want to make some changes to that. You want to add some content. In that case, we have a tool called as editor, VI editor. Archana, so I have not discussed that. I'll be discussing in the coming classes where you can open that particular file. and make some edits. You can insert some data. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Good question. Umar, you are now allowed to unmute. Umar. Perfect. Please take the decision and enroll for the course.
Hello.
Yes, Umar.
Yeah, hi. Just I want to know, actually, my background is this Office 365 SharePoint.
Okay, Microsoft.
And yeah, actually, I want to AWS, I mean, yeah, like, is this right path or I don't know. But
see, DevOps is right, no doubt. Anybody can get into DevOps, and it is right now very good in demand. Umar.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have to select whether you want to go into AWS track or do you want to go to Azure track. Okay, so this is DevOps course on AWS platform. I am very clear. So both are doing good. If you want to go with AWS platform, please, you can proceed here. If you want to learn, if you want to learn this on Azure platform, you can also do that. Okay, it's up to you. I cannot say Azure is AWS is better or Azure is not good. Both are good because DevOps is doing good.
And one more thing, while creating the these services servers now, what are the names we mentioned, like technical names?
What is the name I have mentioned? Sunil is the
their
machine name I have created,
just
right?
yeah, machine name.
Machine 1. It can be anything. For example, if you install something like Tomcat, we install it as Tomcat. Then we write it as Tomcat server. Are you understanding? So how do you use that machine is important. Let's say if you install Oracle here, then it becomes an Oracle server, right? So it's up to you. Okay, it's how you want to use that server. Okay, that's just naming it for our comfortability. Oh, got it? That's all. Umar,
Thank you.
okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Andrew. Done for the today's session. See tomorrow. What's our plan for tomorrow? Tomorrow is day 4. Okay, so in tomorrow we'll learn one of the most important point called file permissions. You have to be very comfortable in dealing with file permissions. I hope you have seen it. Files will have permissions like read, write, execute. How can we make some changes to the permissions? What is the read permission? There are 2 ways we can make the changes to the permissions. Much more interesting concepts. Stay tuned for tomorrow's session. If you have taken a decision, please complete the payment formalities because the meeting link will not change tomorrow, but soon it will change. Take the decision and enroll for the course if you want to continue further so that you can receive the videos as well as notes and the material also. Have a good time. Thank you very much.